Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am Napoleon Hill, and tonight, I want you to listen with the kind of attention you rarely give in your life. Because what I'm about to tell you is not just information, it is the architecture of your destiny. There are truths hidden beneath your thoughts, forces moving beneath your awareness, and laws shaping your life even when you do not realize it. You are not drifting through this world randomly. You are creating every moment, every thought, every belief. And whether you know it or not, you are attracting into your life the very things your mind repeats in silence. The law of attraction is not magic, it is not luck, it is not wishful thinking. It is alignment, it is intention, it is focus. It is consistent self-direction, and it begins inside you long before anything shows outside you. The reason so many people struggle, the reason they chase success and watch it slip away, the reason opportunities appear for some and not for others, is because their inner world is not aligned with the life they say they want. Tonight, we begin the journey of alignment, the journey of becoming someone who attracts success naturally, not by force, not by desperation, but by identity. You're not here to learn tricks. You're here to awaken power. Let us begin. If you want to attract success, you must first understand this truth: success responds to your mindset, not your wishes. You cannot ask for abundance while thinking thoughts of doubt. You cannot desire confidence while feeding insecurity. You cannot expect opportunity while rehearsing fear. Your mind is communicating with your future long before you take a single step toward it. Every thought is a signal. Every belief is a magnet. Every emotion is a direction. You attract what you consistently think about. Not occasionally, not once in a while, but consistently. Your life does not change when you speak a dream out loud. Your life changes when you daily align your thoughts with the direction of your dream. Most people never do this. Most people do not realize that they are using the law of attraction against themselves. They think about fears more than goals. They think about limitations more than possibilities. They think about obstacles more than pathways, and then they wonder why success feels distant. Your mind is not punishing you. It is simply obeying you. The law of attraction says, you receive what your dominant thoughts believe you deserve, not what you hope for, not what you fantasize about, not what you say you want, but what your inner world feels true. So the first step is not action. The first step is alignment. The first step is cleansing your mind from the thoughts that contradict your future. You cannot attract abundance with a scarcity mind. You cannot attract opportunity with a fearful heart. You cannot attract confidence with self-doubt. Your mind must become a home for the success you desire, not a battlefield against it. So hear me. As if your entire future depends on this moment, your thoughts are the blueprint of your destiny. Whatever you consistently impress on your mind will eventually express in your life. This is not superstition. This is mental science. The same principle that built great empires, the same principle that inspired breakthroughs, the same principle that makes ordinary people achieve extraordinary lives. And now it is your turn. But before we go further, you must confront a truth most people spend their lives avoiding. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner world. If there is chaos around you, there is chaos inside you. If your environment lacks direction, your mind lacks clarity. If your progress feels slow, your beliefs are resisting your rise. Nothing outside you changes until something inside you changes first. So the journey of attraction begins with this question: what kind of mindset lives inside you right now? Is it a mindset of fear, of doubt, of self-judgment, of comparison, of worry? Or is it a mindset of possibility, of strength, of growth, of belief? Because your mind is always attracting, whether you guide it or ignore it. Your job is not to force success. Your job is to align with it, to become the kind of person success feels drawn toward. Every powerful achievement begins in the quiet space between your thoughts. So if you want success to flow into your life, you must create a mental environment where success feels welcome. You cannot expect a river to flow where the path is blocked. Your beliefs are either building a path or blocking a path. So tonight, we begin clearing the path. There is something else you must understand. Your feelings are magnets. Thoughts set direction. Feelings set intensity. If your thoughts are positive but your emotions are negative, your attraction becomes weak. If your thoughts are strong but your emotions are fearful, your progress becomes slow. If your thoughts and emotions align, you become unstoppable. This is why vague wishes never work. Wishing is weak, intention is strong, emotion is fuel, belief is power. You must feel the life you want before it arrives. Not pretend, not fake, but truly feel the possibility. Not as fantasy, but as a direction you are moving toward. The mind does not respond to pretending. The mind responds to conviction. When you feel deeply, your subconscious begins building. When you feel consistently, your energy begins shifting. When you feel aligned, your life begins transforming. This is the law of attraction as it was meant to be understood, not magic, not illusions, but deep alignment between thought, feeling, and identity. Now listen closely, because we reach the heart of this chapter. Success is not attracted to people who believe they are unworthy. Success is not attracted to people who doubt their own voice. Success is not attracted to people who fear the future. Success is not attracted to people who think small. Success is attracted to clarity, to confidence, to purpose, to inner certainty. Your life cannot move where your beliefs refuse to go. This is why some people work hard yet remain stuck. Their actions move forward, but their beliefs pull backward. You must become someone whose beliefs and actions move in the same direction. That alignment creates momentum. That momentum creates opportunity. That opportunity creates transformation. And that transformation creates the life you are seeking. But you must begin here. Not tomorrow, not eventually, but now. Because every day you delay alignment, you delay your destiny. Now we stand at the edge of a deeper truth. A truth that will be explored fully in part 2. Because the law of attraction does not end with thought and emotion. There is a third force, the most powerful of them all. The force that turns invisible ideas into visible results. In part 2, you will learn how action completes the law, how your identity shapes your attraction, how to build inner certainty, how to break mental blocks that stop success, how to shift from hoping to manifesting, and how to align your entire life with your vision. If part 1 opened your eyes, part 2 will open your power. You have taken your first step into a truth that most people hear, but very few ever understand. The law of attraction is not about dreaming. It is not about wishing. It is not about repeating words without meaning. It is about becoming someone whose inner world is aligned with the success they seek. Because success does not chase people. Success is drawn, magnetically, consistently, to those who prepare themselves for it. And now, in this chapter, we go deeper. Because the law of attraction does not stop at thought or emotion. It reaches further. It reaches into identity, into habit, into the daily rhythm of your life. Tonight, I want you to understand a truth that will change everything. The law of attraction responds not to what you want, but to who you are. You can think of success. You can visualize success. You can desire success. But if your identity is still shaped by fear, by doubt, by insecurity, by old beliefs, your inner world will block the very thing your outer world is trying to create. Your life cannot rise above your identity. Your results cannot rise above your belief system. Your future cannot rise above the image you hold of yourself. So before we speak of action, before we speak of opportunity, we must speak of identity. Because your identity is the engine behind the law of attraction. Every day you walk through this world with a silent statement playing inside you. I deserve success. Or, I'm not sure if I can do it. I believe in myself. Or, I'm afraid I'll fail. I choose growth. Or, I'm not ready for change. Most of these statements are not spoken out loud. They are not conscious. They are the quiet beliefs formed by your experiences, your environment, your past, and the stories you've told yourself for years. But here is the truth that should shake you awake. Your subconscious beliefs attract your life faster than your conscious desires. You can consciously desire success, but subconsciously believe you're unworthy. You can consciously set big goals, but subconsciously expect disappointment. You can consciously speak positivity, but subconsciously feel fear. And when these two forces collide, subconscious belief always wins. This is why people sabotage their own rise. Not because they're weak, but because their identity has not caught up to the future they want to build. So your first task in mastering the law of attraction is not to ask, "What do I want?" It is to ask, "Who am I becoming?" Because the universe responds not to your wishes, but to your becoming. Let me make this real for you. If you want success, become someone who acts with clarity. If you want opportunity, become someone who moves with confidence. If you want abundance, become someone who thinks with possibility. If you want growth, become someone who embraces discipline. If you want respect, become someone who respects themselves. You do not attract what you pray for. You attract what you practice. You do not attract what you hope for. You attract what you embody. This is where the true power lies, in becoming the version of yourself that your future requires. Now let's go even deeper, because the law of attraction is not passive. It is not sitting back, closing your eyes, and waiting for life to deliver your desires. You cannot sit still and expect the world to rearrange itself. You cannot repeat affirmations while refusing to evolve. You cannot visualize success while living like someone who fears effort. The law of attraction works when your inner world and your outer actions speak the same language. This is the missing link. Action is not separate from attraction. Action is the amplifier of attraction. When your thoughts are aligned, your emotions are aligned, and your actions support your identity, you create a force so strong that your life begins to move, not slowly, not randomly, but with increasing speed and clarity. Action tells the universe, "I am serious. I am ready. I am becoming." And the universe responds to seriousness, to readiness, to becoming. When you take a step, life brings you an opportunity. When you show effort, life sends you direction. When you build momentum, life opens doors. You cannot attract success while living passively. Even a seed requires earth, water, sunlight, and care. Your dreams require the same. But there is something even more powerful, something most people misunderstand. The law of attraction is not about controlling life. It is about cooperating with it. You are not trying to force the world into your desires. You are trying to prepare yourself to receive what the world is ready to give. Success is not hiding from you. It is waiting for you to become someone who can hold it. And holding success requires emotional strength, mental clarity, self-discipline, self-respect, patience, faith in the process. All of these are signals that tell the universe, "I am aligned with the life I seek." This alignment is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not chaotic. It is quiet. It is steady. It is internal. You know you're aligned when you don't need to chase anymore. You simply move in the direction you know belongs to you. This inner stillness is one of the highest states of attraction, because when your energy is calm, your path becomes clear. Now bring your attention closer, because we are reaching the deepest truth of this chapter. The law of attraction does not only create opportunities, it also creates filters. As you grow, life will begin removing the things that are not aligned with your future. People who drain your energy will drift away. Habits that weaken you will become uncomfortable. Thoughts that used to control you will begin losing their power. Environments that kept you small will feel unbearable. This is not loss. This is alignment. The universe is not taking from you. It is preparing space for what belongs to you. Do not fear this stage. Do not resist this stage. Do not cling to the old when the new is trying to reach you. Let go. Trust the shift. Allow the rise. This is the moment when most people break their progress, because they mistake alignment for discomfort. But you will not make that mistake. You will understand that alignment feels uncomfortable only because you are growing beyond your old self. Your resistance is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to keep going. Because on the other side of resistance is the life you've been trying to attract. And now you stand on the threshold of part 3, where the law of attraction becomes deeper, more practical, More transformative. In part 3, you will learn the how to build identity, level alignment, how to break limiting beliefs that sabotage your progress, how to take aligned action daily, how to stay mentally strong during uncertainty, how to use clarity as a powerful attraction tool, how to become someone success feels drawn toward. If part 2 expanded your understanding, part 3 will expand your power. If you've come this far, it means something powerful. You are no longer listening as the same person who began this journey. You are shifting slowly, quietly, deliberately, not because someone told you to, but because something inside you has awakened. In this chapter, we travel deeper into the core of attraction, not the surface level inspiration most people chase, but the inner transformation that actually changes your life. Because the law of attraction is not about what you say you want. It's about the person you are willing to become. And becoming someone new, becoming someone aligned with success, requires courage. Not loud courage, not dramatic courage, but the courage to look inside yourself with honesty, clarity, and responsibility. If you want to attract success, you must be willing to confront the beliefs that have kept you small. You must be willing to see the truth about how your thoughts have shaped your life so far. You must be willing to step into a higher identity, even when the old one tries to pull you back. This is where the real work begins, where the invisible becomes visible, where your inner world begins reorganizing itself to match the future you are trying to attract. Let's walk into it. There is a principle you must understand now. Your beliefs create boundaries for your life. Not physical boundaries, mental ones, emotional ones, invisible walls you've built over years without even realizing it. I'm not ready yet. I don't know enough. I might fail. What if people judge me? These thoughts may feel small, may feel harmless, but they shape the very edges of your life. They limit what you attempt. They limit what you allow yourself to receive. They limit how far you permit yourself to grow. So before you attract success, you must break these invisible walls. You must challenge them. You must question them. You must ask, is this belief helping me rise or keeping me small? Most people never ask this. Most people live inside beliefs they inherited from childhood, from fear, from past mistakes, from things others said about them. But you are now aware. You are no longer a passenger inside your own mind. And awareness gives you the power to choose, to rewire, to create new beliefs that support the life you want. Beliefs like, I am capable, I can grow, I can learn, I deserve opportunity, I can build a future I am proud of. These are not empty affirmations. These are instructions for your subconscious. These are seeds that your mind begins to water. Because once your beliefs shift, your identity shifts. And once your identity shifts, your attraction shifts. This is how transformation begins from the inside out. Now we must go even deeper, because belief alone is not enough. Identity alone is not enough. The law of attraction requires the final ingredient, the one that separates dreamers from achievers, aligned action. But action without alignment is exhausting, and alignment without action is empty. Success comes when both move together. When you become someone who takes steps that match your future, not your fears. What does aligned action look like? It looks like small steps taken consistently. It looks like effort rooted in clarity, not pressure. It looks like choices made with intention, not impulse. It looks like a person who no longer waits for perfect conditions because they understand something crucial. Direction matters more than speed. You do not need to accomplish everything today. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to appear perfect. You need only move forward with honesty and intention. When you take steps that reflect the life you want, your energy changes. Your confidence grows. Your identity becomes stronger. Your belief becomes stable. And suddenly success feels near. Not because it magically appeared, but because you grew into someone who can see it, reach it, receive it. Aligned action is not about force. It is about becoming the kind of person who acts with clarity even when the world is uncertain. And that is what makes you magnetic. But there is something else, something many people fear, But you must understand, if you want to rise, when you begin attracting success, your life will shift. And not everyone will shift with you. As you grow, some people may distance themselves, not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. As you evolve, some relationships may change, not because you are cold, but because you are becoming intentional with your energy and your time. As your identity strengthens, you may outgrow certain environments, certain habits, certain versions of yourself. This is not loss. This is pruning. Just as a tree must shade old branches to grow stronger, you must release what no longer supports your rise. The law of attraction works both ways. It attracts what belongs, and it removes what doesn't. This removal can feel uncomfortable. It can feel unfamiliar, but discomfort is not a sign of danger. It is a sign of evolution. Your past will not fit your future. Your old mindset will not support your new path. Your old patterns will not create new results. If you truly want to attract success, you must be willing to let go of whatever slows your rise. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with peace, with gratitude, with respect for the journey ahead, because success is not only about adding, it is also about subtracting, removing noise, removing stress, removing doubt, removing the distractions that keep you from hearing your inner voice. This freeing creates space for clarity, space for alignment, space for opportunity, space for the life you deserve. And now we approach the heart of part 3, the point where attraction becomes mastery. When your thoughts are intentional, your emotions steady, your identity aligned, and your actions consistent, something shifts inside you. You begin to feel calm even when the path is uncertain. You begin to trust even when results haven't arrived yet. You begin to move not from desperation, but from purpose. And this calm trust, this inner steadiness, is one of the most powerful states of attraction you can ever experience. Because success is not drawn to panic. Success is not drawn to fear. Success is not drawn to chaos. Success is drawn to a quiet, steady mind that moves with intention and believes in the future it is building. This is the moment when the world begins opening. This is the moment when opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. This is the moment when people start saying you are lucky, blessed, favored. They will never understand that you were not lucky. You were aligned. You were prepared. You were consistent. You were intentional. You were becoming. Attraction was simply the natural result of who you chose to be. And now you stand on the edge of the final chapter, the one where all of this comes together into a power you carry for life. In part 4, you will discover how to maintain alignment long term, how to anchor your identity at a higher level, how to make attraction effortless, how to protect your energy from setbacks, how to embody the mindset of someone success seeks, and how to create a future rooted in confidence, clarity, and self-belief. If part 3 expanded your inner strength, part 4 will complete your transformation. Take a deep breath, because you are now entering the final stage of this journey, the place where the law of attraction stops being something you use and becomes something you live. Everything you've learned so far, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your identity, your actions, has prepared you for the truth of this final chapter. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you become. And when you become it, it comes to you. This is where the law of attraction becomes effortless, not because life becomes easy, but because you finally rise into alignment with the person you were always meant to be. In this moment, I want you to understand something essential. You have more power than you think. More influence over your life than you've ever been told. More creative force within your mind than most people ever learn to use. Your life is shaped by your energy. Your energy is shaped by your identity. And your identity is shaped by what you choose to believe about yourself every day. This is why people who elevate their self-belief seem to elevate their lives, not because the world bends for them, but because they bend their inner world into the shape of someone success recognizes. Your future is not created by luck. It is not created by chance. It is created by alignment, by intention, by a kind of inner consistency that most people never practice. The law of attraction responds not to your wishes, but to the signal you send out every day, the signal of who you believe you are. When you live with doubt, you send out the signal of limitation. When you live with fear, you send out the signal of hesitation. When you live with weakness, you send out the signal of uncertainty. But when you live with clarity, with commitment, with steadiness, with self-respect, you send out a completely different signal, the signal of readiness. And success is drawn to readiness the way light is drawn to open space. You do not need to force the world. You need only become someone the world recognizes as capable, focused, and aligned. This is the highest truth of the law of attraction. Now listen closely, because this part is where most people fail. Not because they lack skill, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack consistency. You cannot attract success with a temporary identity. You cannot attract greatness through occasional intention. You cannot magnetize your future while returning to old habits every time life becomes uncomfortable. Your identity must become anchored. Your belief must become stable. Your focus must become unwavering. This doesn't mean perfection. It means commitment. It means showing up for yourself even when you don't feel like it. It means holding your vision even when the results haven't shown up yet. It means trusting the process when the path looks unclear. Because the universe does not respond to hesitation. It responds to persistence, to clarity, to someone who stays aligned even through uncertainty. The real test is not when things go well. The real test is when nothing seems to be moving, when your progress feels invisible, when the path feels slow, when the results feel distant. This is where most people break their alignment, because they believe nothing is happening. But something is happening. Something always happens when you stay consistent with your inner vision. You just can't see it yet. The law of attraction is always working, even when you feel nothing, even when life is quiet, even when your efforts seem unnoticed. The universe doesn't forget your work. It doesn't ignore your growth. It doesn't overlook your discipline. Every time you choose belief over fear, you move closer. Every time you choose clarity over doubt, you move closer. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you move closer. Every time you choose vision over comparison, you move closer. You are never standing still when your identity is evolving. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent. Sometimes it is internal. Sometimes it is invisible, until suddenly it is undeniable. But to reach this level, you must protect your energy like it is your future, because it is. You must protect your focus from distractions that promise comfort but destroy momentum. You must protect your emotions from people who drain rather than empower you. You must protect your mind from thoughts that try to convince you that you are unworthy of success. You must protect your inner world from the noise, the chaos, the doubt, and the comparison that once controlled you. Because attraction works best in a peaceful mind, a clear mind, a focused mind. A mind that is not scattered by things that do not matter. When you protect your energy, you gain the ability to direct it. And when you direct it, you gain the ability to manifest it. Your future requires your protection. Your dreams require your discipline. Your identity requires your consistency. This is how you hold the law of attraction. Not loosely, not occasionally, but firmly, intentionally, daily. And now we reach the climax, the final truth. The truth that ties everything together. The law of attraction is not about controlling life. It is about controlling yourself. Not controlling outcomes, but controlling alignment. Not controlling timing, but controlling belief. Not controlling others, but controlling your own inner world. When you master yourself, life responds. Opportunities appear. Paths open. People arrive. Ideas spark. Momentum builds. Not because life suddenly changes, but because you changed. You became the magnet. You became the energy source. You became the identity that success recognizes. This is the final transformation. The moment when success is no longer something you try to attract, but something you naturally draw into your life because you are finally aligned with it. You don't chase. You don't doubt. You don't force. You don't fear. You lean into your growth. You trust your direction. You move with intention. You believe with conviction. You walk with clarity. You live with alignment. This is what it means to attract success with the law of attraction. Not through magic, but through identity. Not through luck, but through consistency. Not through wishing, but through becoming. And now you are ready to live it.